Are you guys ready? Man, you're looking good. You guys are looking good. Now, last time I was up here, I did math, right? We did a lot of math. There were 6 calculations. This time, we're going to talk about conversations. Now, what's funny about that is anybody remember my first job out of college? Anybody remember that? I was a state trooper, right, in St. Louis. Now, one of the hardest things in the world to do is teach adults. Teach adults math is even harder. Teach adults how to have a conversation is even harder than that. And what's worse is that you want to learn it from a state trooper. Right? So what was funny is she got my name right. Usually people get my name wrong, Mike Milan, and I have to teach them a song. You want to know the song? This land is your land. You got it? This land is. See, now you know how to pronounce my last name. It's pretty good. Pretty good. The song works out that way. So today we're going to talk about how to clear the noise to close sales. So how to clear the noise to close sales. Now, because I was a state trooper and I deal with adults, so you've got to have rules, right? You've got to have rules for adults. So you guys ready to have some rules? No. All right, here's some rules. Here's the first rule about working with me in this lecture. The first thing is you can copy. You can copy. Now, everything I do is called copywritten. What does that mean to you? What does copyright mean? Anybody? No, just copy it right, man. I put a lot of time and effort in this, right? Just copy it right. It's yours to use. Just copy it right. The next thing that you can do is you can cheat. And to some of you, this might not be new. But we don't call it cheating anymore. What do we call? Yeah, best practices, using your resources, collaborative learning, cooperative learning, all of those things, right? You can cheat. The last rule is you can talk. It's okay, I'm going to talk. I got the microphone. I can talk over you. But you can talk. Talk to me. If you got a question, shout it out. You got something you want to say to your partner, shout it out. Speaking of having a partner, say hi to somebody. Look at him, say hi. Now I'm going to talk texting to you for a second. It's a very important question that we need to start this thing off right. Super important question. So you got to look at whoever you just said hi to, look them right in the eye. Guys ready? Say, partner. Who's doing the thinking today, me or you? All right, are we ready? Hey. Oh, I don't know how to do this one. Oh, there it is. All right, so I did put out a new book, right? I didn't start out to write a third book. I didn't start out to write the first book. But I wrote the third book because I teach accountants, business owners, advisors, fractional CFOs. I teach them how to have better relationships with their client by maximizing cash. The first book I put out was called Don't Be a Dumb Business Owner, which is don't understand my business. That's what it means, dumb. Doesn't mean unintelligent. And I thought if I just taught accountants and bookkeepers more math, they would get it. They would say, oh, I can run with this, I can make money like you wouldn't believe. And then during my coaching sessions, we started doing live role plays just to practice it so I could talk through the math so they could say it out loud because everybody learns differently. Some people have to do it. Some people have to say it. Some people have to, actually just hear it and they can get it. But what I learned in the role plays is what people couldn't have a good conversation. They were kind of all over the place. There was no method to it. So when I wrote this book, there was 2 inspirations. The first was that I was a state trooper. And when you're a state trooper, they teach you a method called verbal judo. Wax on, wax off. But no, verbal judo is about de-escalating confrontation, right? Getting people to just be committed to an action, not just compliant. So think about that, being committed to an action, not just compliant. And then, during COVID, if you were like me, did anybody watch TV? You guys remember that? I watched way more TV than I should have. My wife sat down and watched this show. It's called Hoarders. You seen it? All right, so it's sad. Hoarders is sad. I don't like it. But I tell you what, I sat down and watched one episode and woke up 14 seasons later. Right? And you're like, oh, what? Why are you watching that? Because I didn't see I didn't see the hoarding situation. I saw the relationship between the psychologist and the hoarder. And I didn't see that relationship. I saw my relationship with my clients. Psychologist to hoarder, consultant to business owner. Because think about it, the most contentious area in the world, the most contentious time in their relationship is when the psychologist first walks up to the door and knocks on the door. Sometimes when they're walking up to the door, what do you think they see? Stuff. They see the mess, right? As soon as the door opens, what do you think they see in the house? The mess, more of a mess. It's chaos. Well, what the psychologist does next is super important. They don't judge, they don't accuse. They'll say a question like, hey, tell me what I'm looking at. Or, how do you think it got like this? What does that do? It lets the person start to talk. It lets the person, what is it? Tell your son one thing more week. Oh, my fault. That's all right. Maybe, okay, I won't go there. All right, so, but it's one of those things where I'm like, well, they let them talk. They let them try to rationalize. Maybe I can talk my way out of this. Maybe it's not that bad. Well, when you get financial statements from your clients, can you see the mess? You can see it, right? So what you say first matters. Don't be judgmental. Don't be accusatory. Now, who knows what a, I don't know how that works. Oh, there it is. Who knows what a proverb is? I think it's proverb. Anybody? What is a proverb? Yeah, it's a story that tells a lesson or teaches a lesson, right? And it's usually some type of formulaic structure to it. So there's an Irish proverb called "Why worry?" You guys ever heard that? Why worry? And it talks about life. Don't worry about your life because only two things can happen. Well, I say that about business. I created a proverb about business. So I say, why worry about your business? Because there's only two things you have to worry about. Just two. That's it. The first one is cash flowing in. What do you think the other one is? Yeah. Or it's not. Right? Is cash flowing in or it's not? Well, let me tell you something. If cash is flowing in, you don't have anything to worry about. If it's not, you only got two things to worry about. See where we're going with this? If it's not, you got to ask yourself, can I find where it's leaking? Can I find that cash leak? Or, I can't find the cash leak. Well, if I can find the cash leak, then I can fix it. I don't have anything to worry about. But if I can't find the cash leak, you only got two things to worry about. First of all is, should I hire an advisor? Should I hire one of you to help me? Or, I don't. Well, if I hire an advisor to help me, guess what? I don't have anything to worry about. But if I don't, I only got two things to worry about. First of all is, do I get lucky and I can fix it without the advisor? Or, what do you think's next? Or I don't. Well, if I get lucky and I can fix it, I don't have anything to worry about. But if I don't, come on. You only got two things to worry about, right? That is, hey, you're going to run out of money. You won't have a business to worry about anyway. That's a long way to get to the punchline, right? That's a long way to get there. But that's going to show you what I'm going to be teaching today about a conversation. There's usually only two things you got to worry about. So, how about somebody that's close? How about you? Can you come up here for a second? Help me out on this. I want to show you the difference between being committed and being compliant. Being committed, being compliant. Now, this is called a strong arm bowl or hold, and it's a takedown maneuver. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's pretend that we're working together, right? And we want to go to lunch. And we won't go to lunch. Where's lunch at?
Where you sat.
Well, no, where's it at? It's over there. It's over there. So we got options. How should we go to lunch? Which way would we leave this room to go to lunch?
That way.
That way? Is there any other ways? We can go that way. What about over there and then walk around? Can we go up the middle? All right. Which way would you go? That way. All right, let's go. All right, let's stop here. What do you see? What'd you see there? Yeah. Who's talking? He's talking. Who came up with the options? He did. What happened when we found a solution? I let him go and I followed. I went right with him, side by side, step by step. Now let's try something different. Put your hands up like this. I'm going to make fists and swing. No, not swing them, but I'm going to put them against your hands. All right, ready? What is he doing? He's resisting. Why is he resisting? Did I tell him to? Huh? Because he don't trust me? But instantly, his instinct was to say no and resist. All of our instincts, I thank you, by the way. I thank you for everybody. I wanted to do that to prove a point. Our instincts are to say no. Our instincts are to resist. Our instincts are to not let somebody do something, even if it's sell or buy. And you got to remember this, a confused mind never buys. If I'm confused about what you offer, if I'm confused about what you sell, if I'm confused about what you do, I'm not going to buy. But you, instantly, not being told what to do, you're not going to be told what to do, right? Now you see the title of the book. Don't tell me what to do. TELL, like dumb, is an acronym. It means terminate every long lecture. It came from this. I had accountants, I had consultants come to my office. They'd all bring PowerPoints. They'd all bring binders. And guess what? I would sit there and listen. First lesson with consultants for me, $2,500. And at that time, it was a lot of money. Early 2000 is kind of when it was. I thought I had a problem. I thought I had a problem with one of the restaurants I was running. I thought I had too much inventory. I thought I had an employee morale problem. And I thought I might have a pricing problem. 2 weeks later, $2,500 and 2 inches of paper. Guess what I found out about my business? I had an inventory problem, I had an employee morale problem, and I had a pricing problem. And I just listened to it. That binder went on the shelf. It's still there for posterity. I've never opened it since. Why? Because they just told me. TELL is an acronym for terminate every long lecture. If you want to put a dollar amount to it, or not a dollar amount, a time limit to it, they talk 70%, you talk 30%. Yeah, use your calculators. You guys are good. All right. So here's the point to get to. When you're talking to somebody, there's only 6 issues in a company. Believe it or not, there's only 6. 6 burning issues. And if you can find one of these burning issues, you can solve it. You can put them in the right position to do better. The 6 burning issues are education, cash flow, profit, debt, operations, and the future. And when you hear your client say things, you're going to say, which bucket is it? Because now I'll know what to do next. Education sounds like this. Man, you keep giving me all these reports. I don't know what I'm looking at. What should I be doing? When they say that, most people won't know that that's an education problem. And that's where 2 years ago I taught you the 7-minute conversation, which is, hey, here's a quick way just to look at financial statements. If it's a cash flow problem, that's a timing issue. It's money in versus money out. Timing. The timing is off. You'll hear them say things like this. Man, I'm just, everything feels clunky in my business. It's like I'm always waiting for money to come in before I can do something else. That's a timing issue. They're always waiting. You'll hear things like that. A profit issue is about their business model. Does it work? Do I sell enough? Do I have enough gross profit? And I'll tell you this, gross profit is the most important number on the income statement. It is the only place you can get cash to spend on your expenses or put in your pocket. It's the only place you can get that. So it's the most important number. But profit is all about the business model and how they spend, how money comes in and how money goes out. The next one is debt. That one's pretty easy. And all my money is going to debt. All my payments are going out the window. Where does payments come from? Where do you think a term loan payment, where does the money come from to make that? You guys know? What do you say? Cash? Okay, but where's the cash come from? Sales? No. Profit. Retained earnings. That's where the bank looks at your income statement and says, can they afford the loan payment? It comes from profit and retained earnings. That's for a term loan. What about a line of credit? Where does the money come from to make that payment? Say it again. Somebody say cash conversion of sales? Yeah, that's a good answer if you said that. That was a great answer. That was the exact right answer. Yeah, so that's where it comes from. But understanding that, you can help your client understand where the money comes from to make these payments, right? When your customer pays you, like I use the line of credit to buy some inventory. When I sell the inventory, I take the customer's money, pay the line of credit, and whatever's left, I use to run my business. That's how you kind of use the line of credit. The next one's about operations. This is a little bit harder for people that are financially minded because this is about the process, the way they run their business. They're like going, I don't know, I'm always putting out fires. Something doesn't work right. We're always missing deadlines. We're always doing these things. What I like to use there is a process diagram. What are you trying to do? What are the things we're doing to get there, right? And process diagram it out and see where the points of contention are. And the last one is about the future. It's like going, I don't know what my business is worth. I don't know what I'm doing next. So I always start with the end in mind. The first thing I do with my clients is that technique, start with the end in mind, which is quantifying the future. How much is the future worth? Now, let me ask you this. What business do you think you're in? Accountants, bookkeepers, all that. What business? And I ask this to bankers too. Go ahead. Financial services. What else? Say it again. Okay, customer insurance. All right. What if I say this? You are in the dream fulfillment business. That's what you're in. Everybody that comes to you, they started a business, they put their money on the line, they put their time on the line, they probably put their relationships on the line to fund the future. Your job isn't just to do the books and file the reports and tell them what to do next. Your job is to make sure that whatever they want to do next, they have enough money to do it. Every conversation should start there, meaning that even when you're selling to somebody, you're saying, hey, listen, usually when I'm working with clients, this isn't a one-act. This isn't like a one and done. We're 1 month and we're out. Sometimes this takes years, decades. I've got relationships that are 15 years old. So if I'm going to give you any type of advice, I got to know where we're going. So where are we going? What do you want to do next? And then we quantify it, and every month we chip away at that goal. So how do you get somebody to want to do that? First of all, they have to say it. In the role play, when I asked him about lunch, who said the directions? Who said the options? He did. He said, I can go this way, I can go that way, I can go over here, I can cut up the middle. He had all these different options that he had that he could use as an option. He said it, not me. Because guess what? If I get you to say your problem or get you to say what action you're going to take, who are you going to believe, me or you? If you say it, it's absolutely true. If I say it as the advisor, guess what? You can argue with me. You're like, oh, no, I don't want to go that way. I'm going to go this way. So if you get them to say it, then it's absolutely true. So the whole point of this conversation is, can I get you to say what your problem is? Is there a way for me to say it? Because if I say it, you're more willing to work on it. You're more willing to take action. So how do I do that? Well, it's a 3-step process. This is the sales call, right? I'm going to go right to the sales call, trying to get more business. First thing I do is I want to ask the right questions. In the book, I give you 8 questions called the elevation sequence, and they're in order. You don't have to use all of them every time, because once you find the burning issue, what the problem is that they're worried about, then you can move on to solving the problem. The second thing is I want you to give them a show. Now, a lot of people, when I hear them sell, like I've sat in front of accountants, and they sell and they tell me their packages. Well, I've got the gold, the silver, the bronze, and this one I do the forecast, and this one I do just the tax return, and this one I do that. That's how they sell me. That doesn't inspire me to act. Those are things that you should be doing anyway. I look at accountants. You are the best historian of every business in the world. You accurately reflect what happened in that business last year, last 10 years. You're a historian. What do I want you to be? The GPS. That's the difference between transactional accounting and advisory services. Is I want you to be the GPS. So, give them a show means show them you can solve their problem. When you show them, you're only going to show 2 out of the 3 things. You're going to show them what their problem is and why it's a problem. You're not going to show them during the sales process the how to fix it. Guess what they have to do to get the how? They got to pay you, right? They got to pay you. Show them the what and the why, pay for the how. Pay for the what we do next. So I'm going to show you how that works. And the last thing is ask for the sale. But it's not asking for the sale like some car salesman. So let me ask you this. Anybody bought a car? Everybody? Who enjoys the process? Some people like that process. Anybody? Yeah, it's weird, right? So I had a friend. Oh, you like it? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Yeah, love it. So my friend doesn't. In Seattle, he had he had some Tesla or something like that, but he wanted a commuter car that he could just drive back and forth from Seattle to Bellevue. And so he went to a Ford dealership. And in Seattle, where he lived, 2 miles in 3 directions was a Ford dealership. 2 miles, so distance wasn't a problem. When he got to each one of them, same color, same model, same features, same price on all of them. How do you make the choice if everything is the same? How do you choose who to buy from? Yeah. Who? It's who. People buy people, not products. People buy people, not services. People buy you. So if you've sat in your car, and you're like, oh, there's a guy waiting at the door for me to open this door, and he's going to run out and try to go, hey, I'm the car salesman, right? You felt that? You ever just not like somebody in seconds? Why is that? You ever like somebody in seconds? Right? Instantly. What is it? Yeah, you feel it. So one of those things, what is it you feel? What do you think you feel? Something there, right? Can you describe it? Some people go, oh, I just felt it in my gut or in my heart. I just felt these things. Well, what is it? Why can't people describe what it is? Because in the human brain, there are 3 parts of the brain. You guys ever heard this? 3 parts of the brain. The first 2 parts, the inner parts, are called the limbic brain. And the limbic brain is where all decisions are made. It's where all feelings are in the inner part of the brain, the very deep center. The problem with the limbic brain, it has no capacity for language. It has no capacity for logic. Now, the outer part of the brain that we developed as Homo sapiens is called the neocortex, right? It's the outside of the brain. That's where all the language comes from. That's where all the the logic comes from to justify the feelings. So if you're going to vote for somebody or fall in love with somebody or buy something from somebody, where does the decision have to be made? In the limbic part of the brain, the center part, right? It's back here. Oh, wait a second. I got this irrational fear. Can you guys see that I'm balding when I do that? You couldn't see that? All right. It's like an irrational fear that I have that people could tell. All right. So it's one of those things that I have to talk to that part of it. And it's like even when you fall in love with your partner, it just happens. Sometimes you don't even, you're like, yeah, I'm in love. And you're surprised by it. And you're trying to justify, how am I in love with this person? Well, as a salesperson, you've got to talk to the limbic part of the brain. You've got to talk to that part that makes the decision. Well, how do you do that? You actually have to be a chameleon. What do I mean by that? Anybody? Be a chameleon. Yeah. Why is it you don't like the person instantly? Think about that. They come up to you, they're a little extra. They're high intensity, right? They're like, oh, wait a second, you're scaring me. Well, think about that. There's only 4 personality types, social styles, I'll call them. The social styles model said there's a driver, There's an expressive, there's an amiable, and then there's an analytic. Now, I'll kind of describe what those are. Drivers are just task and result. They are not afraid to make quick decisions. They will just go, right? And they will drive you. You've seen drivers. Like, as a state trooper, I had to be a driver sometimes, tell people what to do. Well, the way you deal with a driver is called the 3 Bs, right? Because they'll make quick decisions, but 3 Bs to deal with the driver personality. Be bright, which means know your stuff. Be brief, that means get it out and get out of their way, and then be gone, right? Because they don't want to waste their time. So if you know that, then I kind of know if I can tell in the first 5 seconds that you're a driver personality, I kind of know how to deal with you. I'm just going to match your style. That's being a chameleon. If I'm an expressive, you know the expressive because if you've ever been to a networking party, at a networking party, you got this guy that's an expressive. He's over in the center of the room. He's telling a story. His hands are like this. People are kind of crowding him around, and they're listening to the story. It's expressive. He likes the energy of other people. You've seen it in teams. Like, I love being on group projects, but then something happens when the group project becomes work to the expressive personality. You can only believe about 50% that comes off of an expressive personality's lips, right? And not because they're a liar. It's because they don't like the work. When it becomes work, they want the next shiny object. Squirrel, and gone, right? The amiable personality, and realize that all of us are kind of all these at any given point in time. But the amiable personality is the shy one. The one that likes to go to the networking parties but kind of stays in the back. Well, they're shy only until the point where you get to know them, and then you see their real personality. But to get to the real personality, it takes a lot of time. It takes this thing called trust. Anybody heard that? You know it's a mathematical equation, trust? Trust is this. Trust is the evidence of integrity over time. The more you say where you're going to be and you're there, I trust you. The more you say what you're going to do and you do it, I trust you. I have 3 daughters, all in their 20s. One of them was almost 30 now. Nobody has tested my trust more in my life than 3 teenage daughters. I remember one time like going, I thought you were at Ashley's house. How'd you get to Tacoma? It's like 45 minutes the other direction. Well, it's because they broke trust. It takes a long time to get it back. The last one's the analytical. The analytical has to have everything in nice, neat rows, nice, neat boxes. Everything's got to line up. You have to describe every single step to an analytical personality. You can't say it's A, B, C, D, and only tell them A and B, skip C because it's implied, and that's how we got the D. You know you're dealing with an analytical personality when they say something like this. Yeah, there's just not enough information to make a decision. You ever heard that? That means you skipped a step, and there's a gap that they can't connect. And you got to just go back and show them. So what I'm talking about is you have to be a chameleon in order to get somebody's decision. That's what asking for the sale is. So in my book, I teach 8 techniques. Here's the 2. I'm going to role play the 2 with you. The 2 that I use probably 80% of the time. The first one's clearing the noise. Clearing the noise is just this. When you come to a meeting, when you come to a conference, don't you have things on your mind? Like going, oh, where's the lunch? Are we going to take a break? Where's the bathrooms at? And they usually try to tell you that up front. Because if they don't, that's what you're going to be thinking about. Well, every meeting that you have with a client, that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be thinking about something else. Like maybe on your agenda, you want to talk about exit or the future or some forecast. And in the back of their mind, they're like going, I don't know if I'm going to make payroll this month. That's what they're thinking. They're just not saying it. So every meeting I have, I use clear the noise. Clear the noise is just an open-ended question to get that off your brain. Like, hey, been like a month since we talked. What's been going on in your world lately? After people get used to me asking it, guess what they do? They start just unloading. Oh, man, here's all the problems I have. Great, now we got something to work on. If it's a sales call, the question I ask is something more like, hey, what brings us together? How'd you think I could help? Again, you're wanting them to say what? What am I trying to get them to say? A burning issue. I am looking, every time they say something, I want a burning issue, especially during a sales call, because no other accountant or bookkeeper out there is going to ask them what their real problem is, find it, and show them they can solve it. Because what do people pay for? Solutions. So what if I get a vague answer? Like I try to clear the noise. I'm like, hey, what's been going on in your world lately? And my client goes, man, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Something's wrong. What burning issue did I just say? You can't tell, right? So I got to ask a follow-up question. The next technique is called the explorer. The explorer is just what it means. I'm going to dig a little bit deeper. I'm going to go into this a little bit further, and I use 2 different questions to do that. The first one is, what do you mean it doesn't feel right? Tell me more about that. When you ask somebody to kind of repeat something, they'll use different words and they'll try to be more clear. Because what's my goal? To get who to say it? Get them to say it. If I can get them to say it, I got something to work on, and now they're committed to work on it with me. If I don't use tell me more about that, I'll use, hey, can you say that differently? Now, it makes me look like I don't know what they said, but really I'm asking them to rephrase it to make it more clear to who? To them. So they say it, so they instantly see what the problem is. So those are the 2 things that I use, and believe it or not, you're going to find the problem. So let's kind of role play this. I would say this, hey, what's been happening in your business lately? And the client says what? Say it. Yes. It doesn't feel right. Something's off. Did you hear a burning issue? Was it cash flow? Was it profit? Was it debt? Was it the future? Was it operations? Or was it education? No. So what do I do next? Ask the next question, right? What's the next technique called? We just cleared the noise. The explorer, right? With the explorer, I say, hey, what do you mean? Tell me more about that. What doesn't feel right? You see how that works? It sounds like a natural conversation, but I'm selling. I'm selling. That's how I sell. It's not a big sales presentation with PowerPoints. I'm asking you what the problem is, and I'm going to show you that I can solve it. So tell me more about that. And what does the client say? I just never feel like I have enough money. Did you hear a burning issue? What issue is it? Cash flow issue, right? Never feel like I have enough money. It's money in versus money out. I never feel like I have enough. All right, so I find the burning issue. There it is, cash flow. I don't have to worry about any of the other 5 things. It's about timing. It's cash flow. And in my program, you might have something different. I use mining your business for hidden cash. And I show you where it's leaking. Think about that during a sales call, where I'm showing you where your problem is. So here it is. Got cash flow, and it's about timing. So I'm going to transition to something else. I'm like, going, hey, man, that's bad. We don't want you to have that. That's the worst feeling in the world. I got this technique I call mining your business for hidden cash. Can we try it and see if we can see where some cash is leaking out? What conversation is this? Which one are we having? It's a sales conversation. Did it feel like a sales conversation? No, because I'm there to help. I want to work with you. I want to be on your team. So I'm going to show you what I do. So this is the give them a show part. I've got this thing. You guys can come by the booth and see it. It's called Mining Your Business for Hidden Cash. It looks at your business 2 different directions, vertically and horizontally at the same time. There's 6 calculations. I'll get to the bigger one here. That's the bigger one that it looks like. So what Mining Your Business for Hidden Cash does is it's going to look at your company vertically, starting with sales, ending with profit. Just how does money come through your company? The second part is the cash conversion activities. How long does it take for this to happen? How many days? And then I'm going to compare you to a couple different things. What you should be, which is the industry average. If we were in school, what's the average? What's the average grade? Yeah. So we compare ourselves to be average. You do as a minimum. If you're not average, we need to get you to average. The other thing is our goals that we set together. That's what we could be. So what we should be and what we could be. Now I got you in a box. So with this, I start to interpret it. On here you can see that I know it's hard up there, but I found $611,000. Think about me being with you, and in the first 15 minutes I go, oh, Hey, dude, we just found $600,000 in your business. No wonder it feels weird. You're leaking $600,000. And then I start to make this chart come to life. I say, if you don't know where to start to fix your company, just look for the longest red line and start there. In this case, it's inventory turnover. What does that mean? If our longest red line is inventory turnover, what does that tell you? We have too much inventory. And what that tells you, if you hover over it, it tells you how much is too much. You have $200,000 more than you need. What do they need? Just enough to keep up with the sales value. How do you know if inventory is too old? Just blow on it. Right? If you blow on it and dust bunnies come off of it, you're like, hey, that shouldn't be here. Let's get it off the shelf. Right? So what I'm doing is I'm showing them what the problem is. Now, I showed them the what. Hey, what is, yeah, you're leaking cash. I showed them the why. Why? Because you got too much inventory. What would be next? The how. Do I show them the how? Not during a sales conversation, during their engagement. Hey, when I work with my clients, what I do is I've got this sheet that I use to determine what we call par level for every single item you have. And par level tells me you should have 50 to keep up with your sales. If we go in on the order day and there's 70 on the shelf and our chart says you need 50, how many do we order? 0. If you have 30 on the shelf and our chart says you need 50, how many do you order? Yeah, you know what they don't do? They don't do that. They go in and go, give me 10 of these, 15 of those, 40 of these. That's how people order. They don't care. Or, we sold 5, I just need to buy 5. Maybe not. Maybe it's too much. So, how do I close? Now, I showed you the what and the why. I didn't show you the how. I'm like, hey, listen, normally at this point in time, I just found $600,000 of hidden cash. I've got the tools to kind of help you do that. We can start putting this together this quarter. Start putting more cash in your pocket this quarter so it doesn't feel weird. Would you like my help? See the close? Did you hear it? What was the close? Did it feel like pressure? No, it's not, because it's a soft touch. This is people's money. Something that they're defensive about. They don't want to give you the money because they think you're a huckster or that you're some type of person that's going to steal it from them. But they'll give it to you if you can solve the problem. Think about all the conversations you have. Did you do that in your sales conversations? Start doing it. You'll sell more. All right, so in closing, you're going to get people say, I don't want it because, well, I need to think it over, or it seems too high. The price seems too high. You ever heard that? You need to think about it. Price is too high. Or they might say, hey, how do I do this? Doesn't matter what they say. You don't have to learn all these scripted objections, responses and all that. What I say is, hey, listen, if they have a buying intention, I'm saying, I'm going to send you a link. When you're ready to get started, click the link. You'll get on the credit card for the subscription thing, and we'll just get going. You'll have a whole flood of things happen to you right off the bat. And when they click the link, guess what I know? I know they're ready. Because I can tell you what, you can teach people skills, you cannot give them the heart. And if they're not willing to click the button to make the first action, then you can't help them anyway. They have to want to do this. They have to want to fix their business. Now, the other two, I want to think about it, or it seems too high. If you notice, I got the same response for both of them. All right, no problem. I said, what do you think we should do next? You see how I end that? Okay, great. You want to think about it, or it seems too high? What do you think we should do next? What about that question stands out to you? Yeah. Are we done? I mean, you're not ready to solve your problem. I'm just saying, what do you think we should do next? Well, I want to think about it. Great. I'm going to send you a link. When you're ready, click the button, put your credit card in, and we'll get started. That's my close. 85% close rate. 85%. Just using this. It's not some big grand scheme. It's not some long script you got to memorize. A couple of questions. Show them you can do it. Let them make the decision. So we went over asking the right question, giving them a show, and asking for the sale. Now, to end, after what we learned, I want you to think about your sales process. There's only two things to worry about. Right? Did you find the burning issue or did you not? If you found the burning issue, what are you supposed to do? You're going to show them, right? Remember, that was the second step. If we find a burning issue, we're going to show them we can solve it. If I don't find the burning issue, what do? I use the next technique. And when I use the next technique, did I find the burning issue? If I found the burning issue, I show them. If I didn't find the burning issue, I use the next technique, and there's 8 of them. Any questions, comments, concerns, moans, groans, gripes, complaints, otherwise? Super honored. Super excited to be here. Thank you very much. Come see me at the booth. I hope you enjoyed it. Any of my memberships, if you're interested, they're free for a month. Just use the code. I appreciate you.